At this time, I'm gonna call the regular board meeting of the Jasper Hospital District to order. This is the 17th day of September 2019. We're here at the Jasper Welcome Center at 500 West Wheeler Street, Jasper, in the Middle City of Jasper, Texas. At the record show that we do have Chris Thomas, Judge Kennedy, Mary, H. Matthews, Bill Harris, Dr. Gillen, Michael Radcliffe, and Kenneth Brooks present. And that is a quorum. So at this time, Dr. Gillen, we see 6:32 is the time. Will you give us
We have to. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this meeting tonight. We thank you, dear Heavenly Father, for your presence and your guidance. And we depend on you, dear Heavenly Father, to give us wisdom and knowledge straight from heaven itself. We all know that we need you, dear Heavenly Father, lead and guide us, because we want to do your will and your only will for this hospital district as well as the community here, dear Heavenly Father, that we represent. So we thank you in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. At this time, we're up to the public forum. There was, from our previous meeting, there's an addition of a public comment and a public forum. Basically, either one, you sign in before 6:15. And we're going to kind of work through it, but I did have two sign-in sheets. The public forum, which we're going to begin first, is where someone can address the board on just any topic that they would like to address the board on, with no comment from the board, as it always have been. So we do have signed up for individuals, and what I ask is if you meant for it to be addressed an agenda item, when I get to the public comments, I will make note of that. And if it's just general comments to the board, it'll be under the forum. And at this time, under the forum, I have Richard Clowers. Please.
This is not on the agenda. This is a special awards program, part of the ESGR, which is Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve, which is an agency of the Department of Defense. It works with both the employer and the employees. The employees are typically a part of the military. The employers quite often are civilians and not. The other major thing that this organization does is work as mediators and ombudsman with the Uniformed Services Employment and Reemployment Services Act. It's a federal law that helps resolve conflict that might arise between an employer and employee. We have 3 awards tonight, 2 supervisors with the hospital. One is directly to the hospital itself. A former employee named Latinia Stover nominated these 2 supervisors. She's now working in Houston and is not with us tonight. She is a member of the Army Reserve National Guard with the 108th Medical Battalion in another part of the country. Ms. Stover, she nominated Robin Gail Wooten. Ms. Wooten, if you'd come forward, please. There you go. Thank you. Ms. Wooten described Ms. Stover described Ms. Wooten as being supportive by her willingness to be flexible and understanding in her absence while she was on military missions. She was a great assistance in completing her BSN, that's Bachelor of Science in Nursing, degree. Ms. Wooten, if you will, please. Congratulations.
Just for the record, Ms. Wooten, would you tell me how you spell your last name?
W-O-O-T-E-N.
Thank you.
Ms. Stover went farther by nominating Todd Moss, who's not with us tonight. He's at a seminar out of town. But Ms. Stover describes Mr. Moss has demonstrated stellar communication ability by keeping him informed of daily changes in military duty activities and hospital activities. And is there a Deborah Harris here who was going to receive that for him?
Right here. Here.
Congratulations.
Just stay there, please.
Well,
The third award is to the hospital itself. It's entitled Above and Beyond. This is such activities that the hospital has performed while actually continuing to, maybe not all compensation or all the benefits, but some benefits and compensation and other activities that the hospital has as an employer. They've continued in a very admirable way to administer these benefits to these military personnel when they're on active duty. Dr. Hoyt was going to be here. I don't know if he's arrived yet. Good.
All y'all come on up. Please.
Let me read this real quick here. Above and Beyond Award to Christus Southeast Jasper Memorial Hospital, Jasper, Texas, presented on behalf of the men and women of the National Guard and Reserve Forces for outstanding service, continuing support to the national defense. Congratulations.
Also, we have, not only Mary, but as always, Mary, this is, public comment, and, you get a board member, you're not acknowledged. Go ahead, next person, I'm not acknowledged, next
I
person.
have a copy of the open meetings handbook from the Attorney General. Would you care to look
You get to the
at item
attorney.
4 there?
But at this time, we're
I'm
gonna
ready
move
to
on
address the board.
we're gonna move on to this next thing here. Would you,
Comment on that?
I didn't acknowledge you. I did not acknowledge you.
I know.
Okay, so. We're
I
gonna move on.
defer
We're gonna move on.
I defer my 3 minutes to Dr. McMurray. He is allowed as a board member to speak.
Ma'am, just so that we really understand what's going on here, Dr. McMurray is a board member. Under the law, Dr. McMurray, if he speaks for non-items on the agenda, creates a legal problem for the board and for himself because he's addressing matters not on the agenda. If it is on the agenda, then he has to address those matters at the time the agenda items come up. So he's not a lawyer, I am. The fact that he hands me something doesn't mean it's the way it is. The fact that you defer to him is kind, but that doesn't mean he still gets to speak. Dr. Murray, I would ask that you not put the board in jeopardy by exercising a right you know you do not have.
I would
Please
ask that,
return to your seat.
I will return to my seat, but I ask that you could refer to the handbook.
I will be happy to discuss this with you, look at the handbook, and talk to the Attorney General's office. I want to make a correct ruling, but I don't want to make an erroneous ruling that creates jeopardy for all. Okay?
I understand.
Thank you.
That's one.
At this time, we have Linda Temple.
I'm not sure if the subject is on the agenda.
That's okay. You're supposed to, now you're in public forum, that's okay.
I think I spoke to the board about this one time before because I was concerned about it. And now I'm really alarmed that the labor delivery department, has been closed. The hospital, I think, puts a lot of women and babies in jeopardy, in this county. And, I'm just seeking some help from the board in getting this, situation resolved because I know for sure when my daughter worked in labor delivery, and now I think she's gonna go to the emergency room or something, but, I know pregnant women have come in since the department was closed, we had to deal with them in the emergency room, and it's putting everybody in jeopardy, so I think it's so basic, the labor delivery, as far as we are from other hospitals, I'm just asking the board to do what they can do to resolve the situation and get that started back up again, so no women and children be injured.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, that concludes everyone that signed up for public forum. And there's no other, anyone that signed up for the public comment. That would be anyone that wants to address the items on your agenda. With that being said, we're gonna move on to, new business, old business, there is none. New business, we want the board to, I'm asking the board to consider the format that we had tonight. Just for the public to understand, the public comment is, in pursuant of House Bill 2840 that was in effect on February 1st, where the board is to, the public, anyone from the public can address the board on any items on the agenda.
Yeah, let me rephrase that. Okay, all right. Public forum itself is not required under government statute. Many entities have public forum, and we do have that. There's a public comment section that became effective September 1, and you said February. Yeah, that's what I wanted. It became effective September 1 of this year, and it allows any member of the public, regardless of what side of the matter on the agenda that you have, to speak to the board prior to the board considering and implementing that item on the agenda. So if there are things that are on the agenda from time to time that you would like to address for the board, Ms. Templeton has appeared before us on previous matters, and she may at some point in the future have something that she would like to speak on that is an agenda item with regard to any item that's there, particularly the things that she cares most about. She could speak to that so that the board would have an understanding of what her feelings were, and perhaps other members of the public as well, before they consider that particular item on the agenda. So they are two separate items. They are intentionally separate, but they are merged in many instances. But we'll try to keep as best we can those items that are just broad and general items with the public forum and the public comments, where you're able to specifically address the agenda items, and so that way the board will hear exactly what you feel about that particular item on the agenda. I hope I did not make that clear as mud. I hope it's clear to understanding. And yes, if you have a question, I'll just go ahead and take it. So
Just one question on what you're speaking on now. Is the agenda available to the public prior to the board meetings? And where will we find those?
yes, sir, I will make some copies and have them. They are published, they are at the courthouse and so on, but I will make sure that there are plenty of copies if you ever want one in the future, okay?
And we've been putting copies on the Facebook page.
Facebook page.
But that's an individual Jasper Hospital District. It's not an official of the board, it's just me putting information out to the public, but it's there.
Okay.
Any more questions? If not, I'll put that in the form of motion that will be, the board accept the format for the public comment, public forum.
Second.
Now, a motion and a second by Desmond Harris in the discussion. If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, likewise. On the consent items, agenda item, we have one, that is for the board to consider action. Board to consider to approve the minutes of the previous board meeting held on August 20th, 2019. Do I have a motion?
I like that.
A motion by Michael Radcliffe, a second by, Dr. McGurk, any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, likewise. Okay, on the committee reports, the board to take any action if needed. On the first, we have the finance committee.
I reviewed the bank statements, financial statements for August 2019. Bank statements have been reviewed. There's two outstanding checks. First check was 2680, Little Irvine for janitorial services for an amount of $247.50. The second check is number 2683. It's a canceled check. It's a canceled check. I reviewed the financial statements and the bank statements for August 2019. I make a motion as presented to approve the statements.
Second. I have a motion by Ace Matthews, second by Michael Radcliffe to approve the financial statement. Any more discussion?
Yes. We have a competition competition for bids for a depository. It was won by another bank. When does that change take place?
We have to address, we have already initiated those matters as of late August. We are in the process of changing the funds over from one to the next. I believe if the director, because I was not involved, y'all have already taken the large sums of money
Yes.
and put them in CDs. So that is at Southside. We've got some outstanding checks through the First National account. We're waiting for those to clear. We have put some modest sums in Southside, and as soon as we're in a position to move all the money because all the checks are done, we will do that, and then we'll be operating out of Southside. We already have the Southside checks.
And so we will get our report next month, I assume, from Southside?
Well, there's nothing to report for Southside yet, because it just all became effective September 1. So you're always gonna be at the end of the month, or the previous month.
Does anybody have an estimate on how many more thousands of dollars per month that we will be making on our CDs from the difference in the two banks? Has anybody looked at that?
It changes every time, Doctor. I mean, every 2 years, everything, nothing stays the same.
And you don't know if it's gonna last, you're gonna pull the money out for less than 2 years.
I was checking my figures, it seemed like, we can make a good deal.
It will be good money, thanks, sir.
Thank you. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, do likewise. Mr. Matthews.
The second is review the TLRA collection reports, there's none. And item 3 is review the monthly tax collection report, there is none. Item 4 is discuss and approve the payment for BKD. This is for the completion of financial statements through August 31st, 2019. That amount is $950. I'll bring this as a motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Matthews and a second by Zach Cliff to approve the $950 payment to BKD. Any discussion?
Second.
No. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, do likewise. Motion passed.
We have item 5, it's the same as 4. We'll go to item 6 and discuss or approve the completed audit for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2018, form of BKD. We were presented this last meeting and kind of looked this over. I have reviewed this and everything in order. I bring this as a motion.
We have a motion to approve the BKD audit for June 30th, 2018.
Second.
That was second by Mr. Radcliffe. Any discussion?
Yes, I wonder if we could enter into a record, disclaimer that the accountant sent with that report. I'd be happy to read that at this time. Management has elected to omit substantially all of the disclosures and the statements of cash flows required by accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. If the omitted disclosures and statements of cash flows were included in the financial statements, they might influence the user's conclusion about the district's financial position, changes in net position and cash flows. Accordingly, these financial statements are not designed for those who are not informed about such matters. Thank you.
All those in favor of approving the audit, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, do likewise.
Nay, because it's not a complete audit.
Thank you. Motion passed.
Okay, item number 7, discuss and approve the audit engagement letter for BKD. This is for the fiscal year ending June 30th. We received that in our package, and I reviewed this, and I bring this as a motion.
We have a motion from Mr. Matthews to approve the engagement letter for BKD for the June 2019 fiscal year. That was second by Dr. Gilman. Any more discussion?
Is BKD capable of doing forensic audits? We have several years, maybe 10 years of unaudited results. I wonder what they would charge us to do a forensic audit.
motion that we have on, table right now, we have a second. If not being more discussion, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, likewise.
Nay.
On the building grounds and equipment committee, Ms. Harris.
The Rayburn Clinic contacted us and let us know that the air conditioning system in the main front portion, which would be the reception area and where the patients sit until they're called to the back, was not working. And it's been hot. And so we contacted, under an emergency action, Doug Williford, Air Conditioning Service, to ask him would he go out and just make an appraisal should this need to be replaced. His appraisal was for $5,587. After that, I contacted the air conditioning services here in Jasper, Evadale, Una, reached out to all of them, told them that we had a matter that we would like to know, would they consider going out, looking at it, and making a sealed bid so that we could take care of this fairly quickly. And I think we received 3 back.
Well, Mr. President, I personally appeared to 5 different air conditioning just locally here. Personally appeared to and asked them for a bid and take the bid to Robert Jackson's office. And the first one I took the bid to was Morgan Bullock.
Okay. Judge, let me say this here. Ms. Harris, Judge Kennedy is on your committee, and I'm gonna ask you to take a minute to come up and judge, and you all review those.
I think he's doing a good job right
Harold,
there.
Harold, I just took the ones that
He don't have all of
submitted.
it.
I need you to, if you'll meet with Deborah, you can have whatever you have, if any, and meet with her and, see what you have. I have not looked at them, I have not opened them.
Well, the only one that I talked to,
I understand that, but we got sealed bids, and you.
But you're on the committee.
So I need you, if you would, come over, Ms. Harris, and y'all
have
review
you
those.
got the bids?
Yes.
I got it right here.
Okay.
Just 3 bids, right?
Just go.
Okay, all right.
Judge, she's coming up.
Judge, she coming. Oh.
Let's go with you.
Harold?
Hey,
Harold?
You want to keep it at
Do you mind just open, I mean, I don't care if you go out and discuss them in your committee, but will you go ahead and open them here and just
And this
announce
is
who
one,
they
there may
are?
be more than one.
I
It had
don't know what you
been-
got, they were just delivered, they've not been dealt with.
Well, I was personally told that we had 3 of them.
Well, it looks like you got,
Three, we have 5.
you got 5. So, but if you will go ahead and open them and just say who did the bids, that way we've got that in the record publicly, then you can go in and analyze them in your committee.
Southern Air Conditioning.
When I talked to them, I didn't know we even had a Southern Air Conditioning. I got that from Barbara.
This is Doug Gilbert, son. A1 Refrigeration. Martin Air Conditioning.
Did you say Martin or Morton?
M-O-R-T-O-N.
M-O-R-T-O-N.
Thank you.
J&S Heating and Air Conditioning.
be Mr. Wilson.
With the lowest price, without checking all the details on the other, it reads like this: furnish all equipment, materials, and labor needed to replace complete 4-ton air-conditioned heat pump system, new digital thermostat, disposal of old equipment, American Standard equipment, 5 year parts, 5 year compressor, 1 year labor, $5,084.
Which company?
J&S Heating,
$5,084?
yes.
Thank you.
That was one I didn't know was in existence until Barbara told me about it.
Yes, sir.
So is that gonna be your committee recommendation?
Could you go ahead and just name the amounts on the others so we can have them on the record?
Okay, here's one A1, refrigerator,
How much?
$5,186. Furnish and install Carrier 4-ton heat pump system complete, includes 15 heat strips, thermostat and pads, outdoor units, also will add a water safety switch, warranty 1 year parts and service up to 5 years. $5,186, A1. Doug Wilford and Son, I'm surprised we got a bid from him.
No,
That's the-
that would be it for the district.
That was $5,587.
That was the guideline for our.
And Martin, air conditioning and heating, Martin air conditioning, heating, the furnace materials and labor to install 1 4-ton rug, 14 SEER heat pump system, the rate of so forth and so on. $5,975. And Southern Air, that's on North Main, 1690 North Main, bid of $6,257.93.
Was the J&S, was it a Rude or Rudd unit or?
It just said American Standard equipment, and it's just a regular 4-ton. And then I noticed on 2 of these bids, it was for 14 SEER, which is a step up.
More efficient, are they?
From what I understand, and the only reason I know this is I'm fixing to have to replace mine at my home. A SEER is like a 2-phase, where it doesn't have to run at full capacity, it runs at half, and it kind of kicks itself back and forth in between. It's a little bit more energy efficient. So,
Who had that?
the SEER was, Morton was a 14, and it was a Rudd, and
Was A1 Rudd as well? 'Cause I think they're.
they were a Carrier, just
Carrier.
4-ton heat pump.
And Mr. Wilson, what they did?
Southern Air just shows a 4-ton heat pump.
Wilford was a 4-ton heat pump route as well.
J&S with a 4-ton and heat pump.
But was the name Standard, is that, you say Standard Air, is that a company or is that just a?
I've never heard of American Standard air conditioning.
Well, I've heard,
It's
Have y'all heard?
pretty fine, as a facility manager,
yeah, I've heard of it.
I can tell you.
I've never had one in the air conditioning, but I've heard of American Standard for years. It's not new.
And Southern Air was a 14 SEER. But they did not incorporate. So, I guess it would be which, do we want to go with the regular 4-ton, or would we rather step it up to a 14
know what, is that a Ford Son out there now?
I don't know.
I can tell you that, Doug Wilker, the original unit was put in by Wilker, that's why I asked him if he would.
Mr. Wilford put it's a, 4-ton Lennox heat pump that's in place right now.
Well, I make a recommendation that we approve the J&S heating and air conditioning in the amount of $5,084.
You have a recommendation? You gonna read it, the chair, that's all, we'll take it from Dr. Can you have a recommendation from the Building and Grounds Committee that we go with, J&H Air?
I think it's J and S.
J&S.
J&S.
Air.
It's right across the street from the radio station.
An amount of $5,084,
It's only,
no cents.
No sense.
That's the recommendation from the, formal motion from the Building and Grounds Committee, do I hear a second?
I'll make that statement.
did you know that was right across the street from your office?